Good afternoon, I'm Liam Harding with your Solent Sports News headlines. Breaking news just in, QPR player Elijah Chair has been sent to prison after being found guilty of breaking a truck driver's skull with a rock. A court in Antwerp has sentenced him to jail for a year with a further 12 months suspended. The victim suffered a severe skull fracture which was 2 centimetres long and was taken to hospital in a critical condition. Russia's hopes of competing in Paris have been dismissed by the Court of Arbitration for Sport. The country has been banned from taking part after their full-scale invasion into Ukraine started in 2022. This means Russia are no longer allowed to participate. However, Russian athletes will still be allowed to compete as neutrals. Now to cricket, where England's Joe Root has raked in his 31st century as England fight back against India in the 4th Test. Root currently has 106 runs so far as they look to overcome a 2-1 Test deficit in the series. The Europa League draw has taken place with all 3 English clubs discovering their last 16 opponents. Liverpool's opposition were first out of the hat as the Reds face Sparta Prague in 2 weeks' time. Brighton's first European knockout game is a glamorous tie against last year's finalist Roma, whilst West Ham will play Freiburg in March. In the Conference League draw, Aston Villa were handed the pick of the bunch. The Villains will face 4-time European Cup champions Ajax in the last 16, who also tasted UEFA Cup glory in 1982. Villas are the bookies' favourites to win their first European trophy since the European Cup in 1982. Liverpool and Chelsea will be fighting it out on Sunday in the League Cup final. Liverpool assistant manager Pep Linders gave an update on the latest injuries that surround the Reds.
Dom, Darwin and Mo, we have to really see. We have 2 more days, so today's session and tomorrow's session, and then last minute we will check.
Former Brazil and Barcelona fullback Dani Alves has been convicted of sexual assault after being found guilty of rape in a nightclub. Alves has been sentenced to 4.5 years in prison and has been ordered to pay €150,000 to the victim. His lawyers are set to appeal. It's the last day of Formula 1 testing ahead of the 2024 season. Max Verstappen topped the timing sheets on day 1, finishing 1.1 seconds quicker than anyone else. The first race of the year takes place in Bahrain next week, where the Dutchman will be looking to defend his World Championship. In rugby, England head into the 3rd round of the Six Nations with high hopes this weekend. The Roses take on Scotland after 2 successive wins so far in the tournament. Scotland, who currently sit in 3rd place in the standings, are coming off a 16-20 loss to France last weekend. Here's what's to come in our 3:30 bulletins. Solent University have their own all-weather 4G pitch for their sports teams to use. Test Park is home to most of Solent's Bucks teams, but surface isn't quite holding up right now. Games are being cancelled when the weather isn't even too bad, so what's going wrong? Reece Barrett went down to test the waters at Test Park.
The facilities here at Test Park are a jewel in Solent's crown, but recent bad weather has left teams locked out and stuck in the dugout ahead of their big games. Matches have been cancelled, even though this is an all-weather pitch. So we came down to Test Park to speak to people in the know, groundsmen and students, to get their opinion. Come back at 3:30 and we'll have a full breakdown of the facilities here at Test Park and why the pitch isn't draining as well.
Solent University has many activities available to their students. One activity available is walking football, started by students in football development. Jamie Hale has more on this at 3:30.
If you are free between 5 and 6 on a Monday and you are at Solent University, no matter who you are or where you come from, no, that's so bad. No matter who you are. Those were the bloopers, but if you tune in at 3 o'clock on Solent Sports News on YouTube, you can see me hopefully get it right in the sports complex.
That's all from us now. We'll be back at 3:30. Remember, you can keep up to date on our website, solentsportsnews.com.